Wonderland Water Theme Park wants to generate tickets for its customers, complete the implementation of the requirement based on the given class diagram and code. Look at this. There's a customer class. It has a name, list of games, ticket, points earned, and food coupon. These are the attributes it has. These are data members. And methods it has a constructor, and it takes two parameters, name and a list of games. Then we have methods like play game, update food coupon, book ticket. The rest all accesses, getters, get name, get list of games, get ticket, get points earned, and get food coupon. Let's look at the business rules. Theme park class, complete the class based on the comments given in the starter code. They already have given some code and we'll have to work on that. Look at this. I already have made necessary changes in the code. So dictionary of games contains the game name as key, price or ride, and points that can be earned by customer in a list as a value. Look at this. Dictionary of games is a dictionary which has a game name as a key, then price per ride and points that can be earned is given in the list as a value. This is key and this is value. Now look at this. Validate game is a static method. If game input is present in the theme park, return true, otherwise they'll return false. So it takes game input as a parameter, give any game name. It could be game 1, game 2, any game. It checks whether game input is present in the theme park dot dictionary of games. This is static dictionary. So we are accessing it with class name. If it present, we return true, otherwise we return false. And second method, get points. So all we need to do is we'll have to return the points that can be earned for the given game input. For example, if game name is game 1 and the points we'll have to return. Points for the game 1 is price is 35.5 and points is 5. So we'll have to access it this way. Dictionary of games, game input. Game input, let's assume game input is game 1. So it takes dictionary of games, game 1. In that, it has a list. In that, we'll have to take the second value. So that is why we have given 1. 0 means first value. So we'll have to access it like that. Then look at the third method. Get amount. Return the price per ride for the given game input. If given game input is game 2, then it has to return price as 40.0. So you can try this out, all this. So we simply access it. Theme park is a class name, dictionary of games, because it's a static dictionary. Game input is, let's assume game input is game 2 and we are trying to access, right, get amount. Let's see this. Let's execute this statement alone and see the output. So look at this. It gives us 40. If we pass game 2, and this is the way we need to access this. Game input is a key and value is, it is stored in the list. So we'll have to access, while accessing a dictionary, we'll have to access it like this. If it has only one value, you don't have to mention the index. We are mentioning the index. Why? Because it is a list and it has 2 values. If it's going to have more than 2, you'll have to use 0, 1, 2 like that. We can access it. You can try accessing other methods as well. For example, get points is also, that is also you can try. Let's search in this. Okay, get points. You want to know game 2 points. So it says if you play game 2 and the points are 6. And you can also validate game as well. If you like to validate the method, that is also possible using validate game. It will return true if it is valid. If you say game 4 or game 5, let's say game 9, and there is no such game exists, so it will return false. So we have completed the code for the theme park class based on the comments given. Now we'll have to move on to the next one. In ticket class, complete the class based on the comments given in the starter code. They already have given some code. We'll have to work on that. Look at the ticket class. It has a static variable counter. Ticket count is 1. Starts with 1. All these were already given. So look at this. So these are generate ticket ID. And the comments given here is calculate amount. Validate the game in the list of games. If all games are valid, calculate total ticket amount and assign it to the attribute ticket amount and return true, else return false. So this is where we need to focus on, and these are simple getters. There's nothing to do with that. So first thing we'll have to verify is for every single game, if let's assume there is a list of games which we are passing. Let's say we like to play game 1 and game 2. We are storing it in a list and passing it to the function calculate amount. So it comes here, list of games takes parameters, and it takes first game. If first game is game 2, it takes first game. Then it passes the parameter to the above classes, theme park classes. It passes the game name, game 1 or game 2. If it is true, then it gets the amount. Using the get amount method, we are getting the amount, adding it to the ticket amount. If any one of the game is not valid, if suppose game 9 is present, it's an invalid game. When the moment it returns false, what happens is we set ticket amount as 0 and return false, right? So once this is complete, if it is not going to return false, which means all the games available in the list are valid, so finally amount will be added and finally will return true. That is going to happen. And look at the third one. Yes, so customer class initialize points earned, food coupon and a ticket to 0, no and ticket object. Look at this. Respectively, we'll have to assign it like this. Points earned should be assigned to 0, food coupon we should set it as a no, and ticket we should have assign a ticket object in the constructor. So we are doing it here. So within the constructor, name is fine, list of games is also fine, but for ticket we'll have to assign a ticket object. That's what they have mentioned. Points earned to 0, food coupon to no. We need to understand this very carefully. Initialize points earned, food coupon and ticket to 0, no and a ticket object respectively in the constructor. Then step 2, play game. So we need to work on this method. Calculate total points based on the list of games played by the customers. Then update attribute points earned with the calculated value. Theme park allows a free ride on game 2 if the customer has opted for a game 3. So we'll have to do one by one. If this is satisfied, add game 2 to the list. So if game 3 is there and already in the list, but if game 2 not in the list, then you can actually add game 2 to list of games and include its point to total points. So we'll have to work on play game, calculate total points, update attributes, points earned, then free ride for game 2. So look at this. So initially we set total points equal to 0. Then we check if game 3 in list of games and game 2 not in itself. Then what we do? List of games. Then what we do? We append game 2. Right? Then what else we do? We take game by game, one by one we take. Then we fetch the point using get points method. We pass a game. Look at this. It is here. We pass a game, get points. We pass a game name and returns game points. We checked it before. So using that, we add total points is equal to total points plus theme park dot get points. So once this process is done, once we calculate points for all the games, then we finally update this value. Points earned to total points. That is the first step. Play game is we're done with it. So these three conditions, we're calculating total points, then updating points earned by attribute, then we also checking if game 2 free ride we offer game 2. That is three things are done here. Then update the food coupon. They provide food coupon to a customer who has opted to game 4 and has earned more than 15 points. So it's easy. So and not just that, we'll have to make food coupon status to yes if above rule is satisfied. So what we do, we simply check if game 4 in the list of games and points earned is greater than 15. Then what we do, we set food coupon equal to yes. Then the final method, book ticket. We'll have to calculate ticket amount. If amount can be calculated, we generate a ticket ID, play game, update food coupon and return true. Otherwise, we return false. So it's simple. It's quite simple. So ticket, if ticket dot calculate amount, if it is going to return, if it is going to calculate some amount, it will return a value, right? If it is going to return a value, then what we do, we generate a ticket ID, we play the game, we update food coupon. We call out these method and finally we return true. Otherwise, if calculate amount, right? Ticket dot calculate amount, ticket is here, calculate amount is here. If this is going to return false, which means the ticket value is already 0. So we ticket, so which means here the rule is very clear. If amount can be calculated, so which means the amount is not able to calculate because the game we passed may not be invalid. One or two games, invalid games might be there. So due to which the amount may not be calculated. In that case, a return false. If it is if it's going to return true, if you put it in if, which means if it is going to return true, we process this. We generate ticket ID, play game, then update food coupon. Finally, we return true. That's about it. Rest all getters. Then now we also have created object. So let's say customer 1 is the object reference. Customer of Vetri is the name of the player. Game 1 or game 2, list of 2 games you would like to play. Then if customer 1 dot book ticket, if that is going to return true, then what we do? We get these values: get name, get list of games, get ticket ID, get ticket dot get ticket amount, customer 1 dot get points earned. All these we try. Represent, this is also comment they have given. Represent customers and display all details of the customer if he or she is able to book the ticket and play the game. Else, display appropriate error message. So we have not done anything for error message, but we have done things to represent customers. So if you run this entirely, you will get this. So name of the customer, game, these are the games, and these are the customer ID. 75.5 is the price and 11 are the points. And food coupon is no. I hope you are able to understand this.